Okay, this is term 2, week 10, IGCSE Math periodic. We have 3 sections, one from the actual IG book and 2 from the algebra book, these sections. This section is about the, how can I say, it's about the scale drawings, very easy, and the rest is vectors. I think you can tell, there's also a written part. I think you can see that if they only got 2 questions from scale drawing and the rest is all vectors. I think you can imagine حتى the written that the written will be vectors drawing a vector and uh, the multiple will also be vectors. But before starting I want to shout out Muhammad Tayyim from Sharjah and Khalid Baliya from Sharjah. خلاص start. You really have to know the vectors. Let's do the scale drawings first. They're fast, they're easy. This is 4 centimeters, 7 centimeter. The actual length is 28 meters. Okay, what's the scale? So it's 7 centimeters to 28 meters. You have to change it to cm. So it'll be 7 cm, 2800 cm. 7 to 2800. You divide by 7 on both sides. It's actually 1 to 400. What's the actual width? You have 4 centimeters. Since the scale is 1 to 400, so it'll be 4 times 400 equals 1600. This is centimeters, huh? Centimeters, but they want it in meters, so it will be 16 meters because you divide by 100. Uh, some of you do it like this. You do actual length, drawing length, which is you write down the scale, which is 1 over 400, and then you put 4 over x. I think some of you do it like this. I'm not sure. Whatever you want to do. Question 2. Uh, the man walks to the park from his home to the park. They want to know the actual distance, and they give you the scale is 1 cm is 150. أول شيء you have to add up these, right? Add them up. Once you add them up, you get 8 centimeters. For the total distance is 8 centimeters. But if each centimeter is 150, we have to know actually how much the distance is. For 8 centimeters times 150 gets you 1200. That's it. Yeah, that's it for this quiz. Now vectors. This is the 5.1 algebra quiz for the IG periodic. Uh, كلها vectors يعني. It's a bit tricky. It's the adding vectors. If you don't understand how to add vectors, I did it in the week 8 recording of Math CA, so go back on that. But to add vectors, well, question 1 isn't about adding vectors, so let's get rid of question 1. أول شيء, to understand what congruent vectors are, or equal vectors. Equal vectors are, actually it's right here, it's 2 vectors that have the same magnitude and the same direction. So يعني it's equal, vector A is equal to B if they have the same length and they're pointing in the same direction. فمثلا MO and OP, MO in this case is this and OP is this. Obviously they're equal since they have the same length, because it's O is the midpoint, so this is equal to this, and they're pointing in the same direction. NQ equals to NO. NQ is this. It's equal to 2 NO. NO is, let's draw it like this. Obviously 2 of this NO is equal to NQ. Uh, what else? 2MP equals minus PO. Let's look at 2MP. MP is this, so 2MP would be all the way. This is equal to minus PO. When you say minus, that means you flip it. PO is from P to O. But if you're saying minus PO, that means you go from O to P. Are these equal? Obviously not, because يعني, look, this isn't the same length as this blue one. Mn equals minus QP. Mn, which is this, minus QP, so from P to Q, they're the same length, but they're not facing the same direction. It's not congruent. Nm is parallel to minus NP. Nm is parallel to minus NP. NP minus NP for P to N. Obviously these aren't parallel. PM is parallel to minus MO. PM is parallel to minus شو قالوا minus MO. MO, so from O to M. Since it's minus MO, so you go from O to M. Are these parallel? They are. Okay, if they're facing the same direction, then they're parallel. Okay, that's how it is. هلا adding vectors. Okay, يعني this question looks scary, but يعني it's really it's easy والله. Okay, you have to just like focus شوي. Okay, the first thing I want to find like is the side that you don't know. Okay, you have AD is vector A, DC is vector B, and BC is vector C. So we're only missing this side here, AB. Let's find it. Okay, to add any vector, it means to go from A to B. Instead of going along the straight line, you have to just go around. Okay, so how do you go from A to B? You have to take the alternative path. Okay, if you want to solve for vectors, just memorize this. Take the alternative path. So from A to B, what is it equal to? It's equal to A to D, then D to C, then from C to B. So this red line is equal to this blue line. Okay, what is this red line? Let's have a look. It goes A to D, which is A, so A. From D to C, that's B over here, so plus B. And then from C to B, it's minus C. Okay, why? Because look, this vector here is from B to C, but I'm going from C to B, so it's the opposite, minus C. So we can start by saying AB is A plus B minus C, and I think that's C. Oh, it's not. المهم uh, yeah, A to B is A plus B minus C. Let's just write that down because you're gonna need that. AB is A plus B minus C. That's the first thing I like to do when solving with adding vectors. They're asking for EA. Okay, EA. EA is this. EA is equal to 1 over 3 AB, right? Well, no, that's AE. But it's the same thing. Yani. EA is 1 over 3 of BA. Okay, do we have BA? We don't, but we have AB, right? Which is just the opposite. Yani. It's just the opposite. If you want to make this easier, instead of finding AB, let's find BA from the start. Okay, to find BA, okay, since yani, we're using شو اسمه EA, and EA is part of BA because it makes a difference which letters you take. Okay, let's actually find BA from B to A. Same thing we did. You go take the alternative path from B to C, and then from C to D, and then from D to A. Okay, from B to C it's C, from C to D it's minus B because this vector is pointing downwards, so we're going up from minus B, and then from D to A it's minus A because again this vector is pointing down, you're going up, you're taking the opposite. فالمهم we found BA, right? This is BA. Okay, what do we want? We want EA, and we know EA is 1 over 3 AB. So EA is 1 over 3 of C minus B minus A. That's how you do it. Okay. Now let's solve for EB. EB is 2 over 3, right? If this is 1 over 3, then okay, this is 2 over 3. But EB now is 2 over 3 of AB. So that's why I told you you should find AB at the start. Okay, so BAC minus B minus A. If you want, instead of finding it all again, you know AB is just the opposite of BA. So what's the opposite of C? It's minus C. What's the opposite of minus B? Plus B. Opposite of minus A plus A. For you could just rewrite this as A plus B minus C. Okay, A plus B minus C. These are the same thing. Okay, for since they want EB, it's actually 2 over 3 of AB. For 2 over 3 of A plus B minus C. I think that's correct. Yeah. What's the last one they want? CE. Okay, CE is this one over here. To look at CE, obviously there's two ways. You can go this way, or you could go the other way around. I'll show you both ways, okay? Since we have them all. The first way I'll do is going this way. Okay, from C to D, from D to A, and then A to E. Okay, because always whenever you want to find a vector by adding, you take the alternative path. Okay, let's start from C to D. It's minus B, right? And then because we're going the opposite way, this vector is pointing down, but we're going up. And then from D to A, again, this is pointing down, so it's going to be minus A since we're going up. And then from A to E, I think we found that A to E, we didn't find it, but A to E plus AE. Let's just write AE since we don't know. But you can find it easily because AE is 1 over 3 AB. For AE is 1 over 3 AB. And AB is minus C plus B plus A, or which is A plus B minus C. For AE equals 1 over 3 A plus B minus C. For minus B minus A plus 1 over 3 A plus B minus C. Obviously, if you write this in the exam, you're going to lose a mark because you have to make it simplest form. How do you do this? 1 over 3 A plus B minus C is the same as saying A over 3 plus B over 3 plus, minus C over 3. Let me take this up. Okay? Because you're distributing the 1 over 3. And you have minus B minus A. Can you simplify this? Yes, right? Minus B, it's over 1. This is over 1. So how do you make it? How do we add the fractions? We have to make it same denominator. If I just multiply by 3, it will be minus 3b over 3. Multiply by 3 minus 3a over 3, sorry, plus a over 3 plus b over 3 minus c over 3. Can you solve this more? Minus 3b plus b is minus 2b over 3. Cancel, cancel. Minus 3a plus a minus 2a over 3. Cancel, cancel. Minus c over 3. You can factor out this 3, so it will be, and you can take this out. You can take the 1 over 3 out. It will be minus 2b minus 2a minus c. I think this is the correct answer. Yeah, 1 over 3 minus 2a minus 2b minus c. Yeah. Question 3. This one was in the AMS. I can get you the answer. Wait. So actually in the AMS, they gave you the same exact question, same shape, but they asked for OM, which was also half A plus B. They gave you the same shape, same number, same everything, but they asked for instead of AM, they asked for BM. They asked for BM in the exam, and instead of AB, they asked for BA. So it was just the opposite. And the answers were for BM, it was BM was half A minus B, and the answer for BA was A minus B. Yeah, and in case uh, you want to just memorize these, this is how it came in the exam, and this is OM over here. Okay. Uh, but obviously, if you don't want to memorize, I'll just solve it. يعني. Like I said, I will actually write it down. OA is A, so OA like this is A. OB is B. Okay. Uh, Start by putting down the side that you don't know, which is AB, right? Let's do AB first. Okay. If they're asking for BA, use BA. But in this case, and in the question here, they're asking for AB. But let's do AB. AB, let's write it down here. This is AB. What's the alternative path? It's A to O, and then from O to B. A to O is minus A. Why is it minus A? Because OA is A, if we're going down instead of up, so it's going to be minus A. And then from O to B, it's just plus B. So you can say AB is B minus A, because B minus A. Yeah. Then they want OM. Okay. OM. Actually, before solving for OM, well, okay, I'll solve for OM, but I'll show you you need another step before solving for OM. Let's draw OM like this, and I'll put this is A, and this is B. Okay. OM. How would you find OM? Obviously, you have to take the alternative path, yeah? From O to M, you can either go down from O to B, then B to M, or you can go from O to A, and then A to M. Whichever one you want. But obviously, we need these BM or we need AM. So to solve this, we need to find this AM or BM first. So I'll use AM because they said AM is half of AB, right? It's half AB, AB. Okay, and AB is B minus A, so AM is half B minus A. So to find OM now, if we got AM, we can solve it easily. Let me write it again. OM, and then OA is we said is A because it's given, and then AM we said is half B minus A. So what will OM be? OM will be O to A, which is A, plus AM, which is half B minus A. Can you keep it like this? Obviously you can't. So A plus B over 2 minus A over 2. Okay, this is the way I told you, and you have to simplify. Take this, you have to distribute the over 2 to everything. Okay, you have to make it same denominator. This is over 1, right? So multiply by 2 up and down. It will be 2A over 2 plus B over 2 minus A over 2. 2A minus A is A over 2. So cancel, plus B over 2. Can you factor out this over 2? Yes, you can take 1 over 2 out, and it will be 1 over 2 A plus B. Okay, that's for OM. And then I think they ask for AM, which is half B minus A, which we found while solving. Okay, and these questions, I'm not gonna say they're easy, صراحة, but they really need they need you to focus. Okay, here they give you AC is A, which is drawn, and BA is B. They want BC. BC. So what's the alternative path from B to C? You go from B up to A. Let me draw it. B to A, then A to C. And BA is given as B, and AC is given as A. So this is easy. It's just B plus A. Very easy. Or A plus B, whatever. B plus A plus B. This part's annoying. Okay, let me take this, cut it out. Okay, okay. They want XM. Okay, let me make this bigger also. They want XM, yeah? They're saying BX to CX is 1 over 3. So BX, this is BX, and this is CX. So this is 1 over 3. Sorry, this is 1 over 3 of CX. Okay, what does that mean? It means, like, if you ever get it like this, where it's small segment to big segment, and small segment to the other medium segment, don't 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 write it as 1 over 3 to over 3, because it's very hard to solve. 1 over 3, sorry, 1 to 3, right? So that means the total ratio is 4. So that means this whole segment is 4 over 4. Why am I saying this? And this is grade 5 stuff, okay? Because my brother in grade 5 does this. If you have a ratio of small to medium is 1 to 3, so the whole thing will be 1 to 4 if you were to write the small to the whole segment. Okay, so solve it like this. This will be 3 over 4 because it's 3 out of the total is 4, and then this xb is 1 over 4 because it's 1 out of the total, which is 4. Okay, that's just the most important step. After this you can solve xm. Xm is this segment. What's the alternative path to xm? You go down to xc and then ca. Okay, this is a bit tricky. Xc, we said, is equal to 3 over 4 bc, right? And bc, we found it in part A is a plus b. For xc is 3 over 4 a plus b. How about ca? Ca is actually, and if I show you, ca, it's half. Half of what? Half of this segment ca. It's half of ca. And ca is minus a. So half of minus a. Because ac is a, ca is the opposite, so minus a. For xm will be equal to 3 over 4 a plus b plus half of minus a. can you simplify this? It will be a over 4 plus 3b over 4 minus a over 2. Make it the common denominator, so multiply by 2, multiply by 2. It will be 3a over 4 plus 3b over 4 minus 2a over 4. 3a minus 2a, a over 4 plus 3b over 4. And I don't know why I put this answer, and I showed you my answer, which is wrong. It's actually the correct answer, a over 4 plus 3b over 4. And it's correct. I was putting this answer, this is wrong. I put my answer, which is wrong. But this is the correct answer. A over 4, which is 1 over 4a, plus 3b over 4, which is 3 over 4b. Okay, and if you want to look at it, it's the same thing. Question 5. Okay, you have a hexagon, AB is V, and FE is U. And pay attention, they say regular hexagon. Okay, this is geometry, but a regular hexagon forms 6 equilateral triangles. That means this side is equal to this side, 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 equal to this side. Okay, they're all equal. Okay, what are they asking? First one, CD. This is very easy. CD, CD. Okay, if this is V, that means this is also V, since these are equal. So this is V. And if this is U, that means this is also U. Okay. So what will CD be? Let's take a look at the alternative path of CD as D. From C to D, we can go C to O, and then O to D. Okay. C to O is minus V, because it's the opposite of V. V is going up, but we're going down. Minus V. And then from O to D is plus U. So you could say minus V plus U, or U minus V. There you go. BE. BE is BE over here. BE is like this. Okay. I think yani, if they're saying O is the midpoint, that means BE is equal to 2BO, right? If you can find BO, you can find BE. Let's take a look here, because yani, it's double of BO. BO is this, but they want BE, which is the whole thing. Okay, so BO, if you want to find the long segment, always find this one and then multiply. BO is this, and we have V there, and this is U down here. What's the alternative path to BO? You go from B to A, and then from A to O. B to A again is minus V, and then A to O is U. Okay, so minus V plus U, and we want 2 of this, right? 2 times minus V plus U, so 2 minus 2V plus 2U. I think, yeah, which is 2U minus 2V. It's the same thing. Then the last one, EC. EC is over here. Okay, here's EC. You want to make it a triangle, right? Always, we're using triangles, I think, if you realize. From EC, you can make this triangle over here. I think you can see it. So let's have a look. Let me draw it again. This is EC. Okay, this vector U is facing this way, and we know that this is V. That means this also here is V. So this FC, we can just replace it and put 2V. Let's just put 2V. Okay, this is U. So what's the alternative path for EC? How do we find it? EC is the same as going from E to F and then F to C. E to F is minus U because they're opposite of U. FE is U, so opposite is going from E to F, which is minus U. Then F to C is 2V. So it's the same as saying 2V minus U. Let me check, is it correct? Yep. This question is easy. Vector U. What is U? It's BA. What is BA equal to? CD, because opposite sides, huh? Okay, BC, what's it equal to? Obviously AD, opposite sides. Then DA, which is over here, obviously equal to CB, opposite sides. The wording, like the endpoints matter, you know, like DA isn't the same as saying AD, because vectors, it matters, the initial point and the final point. And then minus U, U is BA, so minus U will be AB. Or what did they put? I think they put DC. Yeah, with minus U, this is minus U. It's the opposite of U, AB. And what is it equal to? DC, opposite sides. Question 7. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Uh, Let me cut it. Did I take this? Yeah, I took them. Just 1 second, yeah. Uh, you current page. Okay, you have this triangle. It's a weird triangle. AM to MB, AM to MB is 1 to 5. And I told you, whenever you have this small to medium, always use the bigger ratio, okay? So AM, use the ratio of A of the segment to the whole, always. And I don't like using segment to segment. AM to whole will be 1 to 6 because MB is 5, AM is 1, so it's going to be 1 to the whole thing will be 6. Okay? Always use this ratio. I don't like the segment to segment ratio. And MB to whole will be 5 to 6. So you can call this 1 over 6 over here, and this would be 5 over 6. Okay? AM equals BD, whatever. The position of vector M, OM. OM. They want OM. Let me have a look here. OM is this. OM, to find it, we need to take the alternative path, right? So from O to A, and then A to M. O to A is obvious. It's equal to OA plus AM. Vector. Please use the vector symbol, yeah, if you have a written, because I'm sure they're going to give you written. Okay, written drawing. Akid, they're going to tell you to draw vectors, and I think that's on 5.2. But for now, let's stay on 5.1. OA is obvious, it's B. AM, we said AM is 1 over 6 of AB, right? 1 over 6 of the whole segment, AB. But let's clean this up and let's find AB. AB is equal to, what is AB? AB is this. What is AB? AB is the same as going alternative path. Let's look at the alternative path. From A to O, then O to B. A to O is minus P, and then O to B is plus Q. I think, let me check. Yeah, because A to O is the opposite of this, which is minus P, but O to B, it's the same way, so plus Q. Okay, so P plus 1 over 6 minus P plus Q. Okay, so let's simplify this. P minus P over 6 plus Q over 6. To make it same denominator, multiply by 6, multiply by 6. This will be 6P minus P, which is 5P over 6, cancel, cancel, plus Q over 6. Is that the correct one? Yes, 5 over 6P plus 1 over 6Q, which is the same as Q over 6, because this is 1 over here. Okay, what is equal to MD? MD is actually the same as AB, by the way. Okay, why? Because they said AM is equal to BD. So this segment here is equal to this segment here. Okay, for AB is actually this green segment plus this MB, right? And MD is also this green segment plus MB. فيعني that's why MD is equal to AB. And did we find AB? Yes, we did. It's minus P plus Q. You can just say AB is equal to MD, which is equal to minus P plus Q. Question 8. What is equal to LK plus LM? Okay, LK is this. LM is this. It's in the book, the parallelogram method. Okay, the parallelogram method states that two vectors having the same initial point, okay, if you add them, the sum will be the vector in between them. This is actually the sum. Okay, let me show you how they say it in the book. It's actually in the book here. two vectors with the same initial point. Their initial points are the same, they're coincident. The sum will be the segment in between. So if they have the same initial point, so the sum will be the vector in between. Question, that's it. Okay, that's it for 5.1. هلا 5.2. Okay, this is 5.2 algebra for the IG periodic. Again, vectors, vectors, vectors. This time we're working with magnitudes of vectors more than just adding vectors. It's mostly magnitudes of vectors and how to write a vector and how to draw it. Okay, let's start. You have a hexagon. They gave you vector OA is A and OB is B. Sorry, OE is B. What's DC? طلع DC over here. This is DC. It's parallel to OA. And you know parallel vectors are equals. يعني DC and OA are equal. If OA is A, DC is also A. ED is over here. Okay, so this is ED, and you connect. If you want ED, you need to find it as a sum because you don't really have it parallel to anything. ED in this case is only parallel to AB, and we don't have AB. You can do it like this. ED is like this, connected to A. You get this shape, right? How do you go from E to D? You have to take the alternative path. You go from E to O, from O to A, and then from A to D. This is how we remember the sum. From E to O is minus B because it's the opposite. From O to A, this is actually the vector for it. It stays plus A. And then from A to D, it's plus 2B. Okay, you're gonna tell me why. Like, أول شيء they said it's a regular hexagon, okay? فthis is equal to this. And then connect it more. Now it's double of this, if you get what I mean. It's 2B now. For this was minus B, I said. Minus B and 2B becomes B, because minus 1 plus 2 is 1. And you get B plus A. I think that's correct. Yeah. C, OB. OB over here. Okay. OB, it's this vector. How do you go from O to B? If you take the alternative path, you go from O to A, and then from A to B. Okay. O to A is obvious, right? It's A. Plus, now we want AB, right? Okay. AB is actually parallel to ED. So that means ED and AB are equal. Okay. Did we find ED? We did. We said ED is A plus B. AB is also going to be A plus B. So A plus B, which is 2A plus B. F is the midpoint of segment DC. What is OF? OF. Okay. This is OF over here. How do you get from O to F? Let's take the alternative path. You go from O to E, E to D, and then E to F. O to E is B. ED we said was A plus B. So A plus B. And then from D to F, it's actually half of DC. Why? Because they said it's the midpoint of DC, so it's half, okay? And do we know what DC is? If you remember, we found DC in part A, which was A. DC is A. Because I told you DC is parallel. It's parallel to OA, which is A, so it's going to be half of A. For B plus A plus B plus half A. Okay. How do you do this? B plus B is 2B. A and half A, you have to make it common denominator. So multiply by 2 up and down. Okay. 2A plus 1 over 2A. This is يعني, let me simplify this. Let's cancel the b's. Let me clean this up. Plus 2A over 2 plus, this is just A over 2, right? 1 over 2A is just A over 2. Okay, 2A plus A is 3A over 2 plus 2B. Okay, that's how you do 3 over 2A plus 2B. See, after 5.1, if you really understand 5.1, questions like these shouldn't be that hard anymore. Hala magnitude. Okay, vectors. A vector V, okay, can be written as an x component and the y component. Okay, how do I say this? This isn't a fraction. So if you write this in the written, this fraction symbol, you're gonna get it wrong, okay? So please don't put the fraction symbol. So let's say I had a vector v, which is moved 3 to the left and 4 down. How would you write that? It would be vector v is equal to minus 3 minus 4. That's how you'd write it. How do you find the magnitude of a vector? The magnitude of a vector is like this. This is how they write the magnitude, with two dashes. It looks like the absolute value, but it's not. Uh, if I write this, that means I'm asking for the magnitude. How do I find the magnitude? It's radical x squared plus y squared. Okay, that's how you do it. If you remember in physics, the forces, same exact way. Radical fx squared plus fy squared. Okay, that's how you find the magnitude. So how would you find the magnitude here? It's going to be radical 1 squared plus 20 squared, which is radical 401. Question 3. Uh, okay. Honestly, like, if you want my honest opinion, in the written tomorrow, they're probably going to ask you to draw something. They're going to ask you to draw maybe one vector or two vectors, and they're going to get you a question like this. I could totally see the regional bringing this question tomorrow in the written. This exact question. Uh, I would not see why not. Because she's done it in every single math exam we've had. In the algebra, if you remember, she gave us the graphing, and the geometry. She gave us that one question with the pyramid. So I won't be surprised if we get a question like this tomorrow. To solve this, let's start. They're asking for, well, let's talk about the given. M is the midpoint of AB. Cx to xb is 5 to 1. Remember, this is small, small segment to bigger segment, right? It's not the whole. Remember, if you want to solve, and I prefer that you solve with the ratio of the small to the whole. Okay, I don't like using the segment 5 to 1, cx to xb. I like using cx to cb, like the whole thing, CB is the whole thing. I don't like using this, like I told you in the 5.1. The whole ratio CX would be 5 over 6. This would be 1 over 6. Why? Because the total is 6. For 5 to 6, 1 to 6. Okay, this is, and if you, that's actually stuff you take in grade 5. My brother's in grade 5 and he does this ratio stuff. المهم, uh, OA is Q, OC is P. What is AM? AM is half of AB, right? If you look at it. Please don't forget to put the vector's arrow sign. Okay, the arrow signs are really important, and I've seen people lose marks on it in previous years. Please make sure you put it. AM is half AB, and AB is parallel to OC. So that means AB is actually equal to OC, which is P. So AM is gonna be half P. Yep. How about part B? You have MX. Okay, MX, this vector here. You have to use the sum, right? For mx is going to be, take the alternative path. To go from m to x, you have to go m to b, b to x. M to b is, we said, is half of b, right? We said am is half of b, and أكيد يعني mb is also half of b, because they're both halves of the big segment. And then bx, we said, is 1 over 6 bc, right? If you can find bc, you can find bx. What's bc equal to? bc is equal to minus q. Why? Let me clean this up and I'll show you. You have bc over here, and you have OA over here. They're parallel, but this is going up. فأكيد يعني this is going to be minus Q, if you get what I mean. Let me say it in a different way. If this is OA, and then this is CB this time, these are parallel. This is Q, that means this is Q, CB. But I want BC, and BC is just the opposite, right? BC is the opposite of CB. Look, and I got CB is equal to Q. Switch them, BC, it will be minus Q, because that's what an opposite vector is. Because I'm going to explain this now in a bit, but when you have a vector like this, V, okay, the opposite vector would be minus V. It's parallel. equal but just opposite direction. Okay. uh we said we wanted mx, right? Mx was mb, which is half q, half b, sorry, and bx, which is 1 over 6 bc, which is actually 1 over 6 minus q. So what is mx going to be? Mx is going to be equal to half p plus 1 over 6 minus q. Or you can rewrite this as half p minus q over 6. I don't know, it depends. All of these answers are acceptable. Let me see what they put here. Half p minus 1 over 6q. Yeah, like this. They wanted half p minus 1 over 6 q, because this minus went to 1 over 6. Okay, part whatever, ox over here. What's the alternative pathway to ox? You go from o to c, then c to x. O to c plus c to x, right? OC is actually p, cx is 5 over 6 cb, 5 over 6 cb. We want CB this time. CB is just going to be Q, because CB is going in the same direction as OA. If you see any C to B, O to A, same direction, parallel, but it's also equal. So CB is going to be equal to Q. Okay, so P plus 5 over 6Q. I think that's the answer. Yeah. AB and OX are extended to meet at point F. OF, written in its simplest form, is equal to what? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a bit hard. Okay, this one's a bit hard. Uh, but I'm going to explain it for the sake of those people who want to understand, and for the sake of it might be in the written. Uh, so AB and OX are extended to meet at point F. If you extend AB and you extend OX, they meet over here at point F. Okay, they're saying what is OF equal to? So they want this segment OF. Okay. صراحة I don't know how to solve this, but I opened the PDF they sent in the group. I think Celine makes them, and it explained this one really well. Thank you, Celine. But look here, XBF, this triangle, the red triangle that I'm gonna draw, XBF, it's actually similar to this triangle OXC. Okay, they're similar. To explain why this is equal to this and this one is equal to this one, يعني it's you don't need to know, but you can just say they're similar and you'll get the mark. I think I don't think you have to say why. Okay, المهم they're similar. What does this mean? You guys know when you have similar sides, that means bx over xc is equal bx over xc is equal to small over big, يعني xf over ox. Why? Because the triangles are similar. If you want to find, نحن we want OF, right? To find OF, let me write it in green. OF is this green segment, right? We can find OX easily. We know it أصلا. But we just need this XF part. How do you find XF? Let's cross multiply. You'll get XF times XC equals BX times OX. What's XF going to be? XF is going to be BX times OX over XC. Do we know what BX to XC is? We do, right? BX to XC is 1 over 5. Like it's given. BX, we said this is uh, the ratio of BX, like here, over here. We said CX to BX is 5 to 1. What if I want to flip it? I want to put BX to CX, it's going to be 1 to 5. Instead of writing BX over XC, I can put 1 over 5 times OX equals XF. Okay, and we know what OX is from here. We found OX, P plus 5 over 6Q. Let's take this up. XF will be equal to 1 over 5 times p plus 5 over 6q. Okay. uh can يعني how am I going to distribute this صراحة. uh I'm looking at the solving. Actually, it's, in my opinion, it's easier to keep it as 1 over 5 times OX. Keep it like this. Okay, because we're not trying to find XF, we're actually trying to find the whole thing, right? If you look, we want the whole green segment, OF. Uh, so, I told you OF is equal to OX plus XF. XF, which is the outside part, right? This XF. So it can be rewritten as OF is equal to OX plus 1 over 5 OX. Why? Because we said XF is 1 over 5 OX, and OX, it just stays OX. يعني it's a lot of letters and segments and stuff, but you have to be able to understand this, because I really think they'll get a question like this in the written, or a drawing question, which I'll explain in a bit. بس المهم, what's OF going to be equal to? OX plus 1 over 5 OX multiply by 5, multiply by 5. So you add them because it's common denominator. You'll get 6, 5 plus 1 6 over 5 OX. Can you find this? Yes, you can. So this is going to be 6 over 5 times OX, which is, I think we said it was down here, OX, P plus 5 over 6Q times P plus 5 over 6Q. Okay. So you have to distribute it to everything here. 6 over 5 times P stays as 6 over 5P. And 6 over 5 times 5 over 6 actually cancels 5 with 5, 6 with 6. So it'll just be left with Q. So 6 over 5P plus Q. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a lot to take in, but these are the steps, if you want to know them. خلاص, I'm doing my job just to explain. I'll explain. What's the positive value? Okay, see, easy. What's the positive value of h if mx, this is mx, the vector, h and minus 3h, and the magnitude of mx is radical 490. The magnitude. How do you find magnitude? We said it's radical x squared plus y squared, right? X squared in this case is h, so h squared, plus y squared, which is minus 3h squared. Okay, under a radical equals radical 490, right? Because we said this is the magnitude. Why am I telling you this is the magnitude? Because they put the symbol of magnitude, this dash, the two dashes. Can you cancel the radical? Yes, you can. You'll be left with h squared plus minus 3h squared equals 490. Minus 3h squared, minus 3 squared is, let me take this up. Minus 3 squared is 9, h squared is h squared, okay, and you have h squared over here, equals 490. تصير 10h squared equals 490, بتصير h squared equals 49, و h equals 7, because they're asking for the positive value, okay? If they ask for the negative value, it will be negative 7. Question 4. I think they're gonna get a bit easier. Yeah, like here, what's the magnitude of u? It's easy, just do radical 10 squared plus 2 radical 39 squared under a radical, on the calculator, sorry, you get 16. Okay, unit vectors. هلا I'm gonna explain the unit vector, then I'm gonna explain the drawing. Okay, uh, a unit vector, it's from the name unit, it means the magnitude of this v, this unit vector, is actually equal to 1. Okay, what does that mean? The unit vector of anything, so let's say call it u prime, say u prime is unit vector of u. What would the x of u prime be, and what would the y of u prime be? Okay, because a vector is x component, y component. It's very easy. The x component of any unit vector is equal to the original x component of the vector over the magnitude. So in this case, over 16. And what would the yu prime be? It will be the original y over the magnitude 16. That's it. يعني formula. It's a formula. For x of u prime will be the new x will be the old x over the magnitude, and the new y would be the old y over the magnitude. What will xu be? What was xu? It's given, I think, 10. Yeah, because they want the unit vector. They want a. What's the value of a? So that's the x actually. So they want xu prime. It's going to be equal to the old x over the magnitude, which is 16. What's the old x? The old x was 10 over 16. Divide by 2 up and down. You get 5 over 8. Question 5. Okay, let me continue. I and j. Okay, I refers to x component, and j is always y component. Okay, they have this vector r. They want minus 8r. So what does that mean? We're multiplying by minus 8. And whenever you multiply a vector by anything, you're multiplying the x component and you're multiplying the y component. So it will be minus 8 times 3 will be minus 24i, because I is the x. And then minus 8 times minus 0.25 is actually 2j, because j is the y. Okay, and you get it like this. Question 6. I'm waiting to give you the formula. Because I give you it now, I think. Okay, any vector AB with a magnitude of xy is equal to, the magnitude of any vector AB is equal to x of the final minus x of the initial, y final minus y of the initial. Why am I giving this to you? It's a formula that's in the book, and yani it's useful for the questions that are coming. So in this case, yani, let's say I give you a is 7, 4. I gave you b is, let's say, 3, 2, and I'll ask you to find what's AB, because these were all in the book. It's gonna be x final minus x initial for your x component, and then it's y final minus y initial for your y component. Okay, in other words, you can say any vector AB is equal to x of b minus x of a, y of b minus y of a. I'm just giving you the formulas in the book. So in both these cases, let's solve for a and b. It's gonna be 7 minus 3. Sorry, that was the final minus initial. Always final minus initial. It will be 3 minus 7, 2 minus 4, which will be minus 4 minus 2. For AB is actually minus 4 minus 2. Please, 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 if we have a written part, don't put the fraction symbol, because like I said, you're gonna get it wrong. Let's start here. P and Q are given on the grid, okay, and PR is 2 minus 2. They're asking you, I'll skip this for now. They're asking you, where is R? For PR is 2 minus, let me zoom out, is 2 minus 2. Where is R gonna be? Okay, like I said, the magnitude of any vector. So let's say PR, we're saying PR. It's equal to x of, in this case, R minus x of P, y of R minus y of P. Always, this is the formula. Final minus initial, final minus initial. What is this equal to? We said 2 minus 2, because it's given. Okay, what else do we have given? We also have x of p, y of p given, right? X of p and y of p. P is over here. It's at 1, 4. So p is 1, 4. So let's solve this. It's going to be xr minus x of p, which is 1, y of r minus y of p, which is 4, equals 2 minus 2. Can you solve this? Yes, you can. So you get two equations. Xr minus 1 equals 2, and yr minus 4 equals minus 2. 1 to the other side, xr equals 3. Minus 4 to the other side, yr equals 2. So the coordinates will be 3, 2. Okay, the formula. Final minus initial equals the magnitude, equals the x component and y component. Okay, the vector rq can be represented by the column vector 1, 0. Okay, if you want to, because this question could also come, and they could say draw PR. So we found r's over here at 3, 2, right? 3, 2. This is R. They could easily say draw vector PR. Uh, in this case, they're asking you what's the vector RQ. Okay, RQ. RQ is this over here. How would you find the vector RQ without the graph? You can do it. It's going to be x of q minus x of r, y of q minus y of r. Final minus initial, final minus initial. Where is q? Q is over here at 4 comma 2. Q is 4 comma 2. And we said r is 3 comma 2. So can you solve this? Easily you can solve it. X of q, which is 4, minus x of r, which is 3, y of q, which is 2, minus y of r, which is also 2. You get 1, 0. That's your magnitude. That's your component. Part C, xy. Okay, what did they say xy? Xy is also a vector in the same direction as rq. Okay, the magnitude of xy is it's twice the magnitude of rq. They're saying xy equals 2 times rq. Okay, so easily you can do just times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 0, 0. That's it. يعني خلص ما بدها حلال. It's very easy صراحة that part. Question 7. Here they gave you A is minus 3, 4. B is 4, 1. And AC is minus 3, minus 6. They want BC, AB. Okay, that's a lot of letters, but bear with me. A, B, and we have a third point C, right? That's common. فيعني without if you don't have point C, it's going to be very hard to solve. So let's find point C. AC is given minus 3, minus 6. What is AC? It's equal to x of C minus x of A, y of C minus y of A. Do we have x of A and y of A? Yes, we do. For minus 3 minus 6 equals xc minus x of A, which is minus 3. And then y of C minus y of A, which is 4. Can you solve this? Yes, you can. So xc minus minus 3 is plus 3 equals minus 3. And then yc minus 4 equals minus 6. Take 3 to the other side, you get x of c is minus 6. Take minus 4 to the other side, you get y of c is minus 2. So you're going to get c is minus 6 minus 2. Okay, so let's put c here as minus 6 minus 2. Now they're asking for BC. BC is A comma B, right? So they're basically asking yani, the vector. How do you find the component of any vector? BC is equal to x of C minus x of B, y of C minus y of B. Final minus initial, final minus initial. BC equals xc minus xb. Xc, what's xc? Minus 6. Minus xb, which is 4. Y of c, what's y of c? Minus 2. Y of b, it's 1. Can you find this? Yes, you can. This is minus here, sorry. Minus 6 minus 4 is minus 10. Minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. If you get AB, x component is minus 10. Y component is minus 3. Question 8. Mn is minus 2, 5 and m is 2, 4. What is the coordinates of n? Okay, Mn. What is Mn equal to? It's equal to xn minus xm. Yn minus ym. Can you solve this? It's equal to, in this case, minus 2, 5, right? Can you find the coordinates of n? Yes, we can. Why? Because we have m. So let's substitute a bit. Xn, we don't know it, minus xm, which is 2. Yn, which we don't know, minus ym, which is 4, equals minus 2, 5. Can you solve this? Let's go. I solve it. X minus 2 equals minus 2. Y minus 4 equals 5. Take minus 2 to the other side, it cancels. You get xn equals 0. Yn minus 4, take minus 4 to the other side, you get yn equals 9, because 5 plus 4. So you're going to be left with 0, comma 9. Question 9. Before ending the recording, after the quiz, I'll show you how to draw and stuff. U is 4, 7, and V is 1, 1. If the initial point of U plus V is at 2, 0, then its terminal point is at 7, 8. Okay. whenever you have adding two vectors and you want to find the terminal point of those sum of two vectors, first find your initial point. Okay, your initial point of any vector, of any vector. You could use u or you could use v. Let's see. If you have 2 0, right? This is our initial point. And you have u, which is 4 7. To find the initial point of and in this case, you take 4 7, which is u, and you would add it to the initial point of both vectors. Okay, and you'll get 6 7. You could use that with u, or you could use it with v. If you want to use v, you'd use 1 1 1 1 plus 2 0. Okay, you get 3 1. This could be, you could use this initial point or this initial point. So after using this u, if you're using the initial point of u, what's left? We need to add v. So you just do plus v, which is the same as saying 6 7 plus v, which is 1 1. You get 7 8. Same thing here, 1 1. Why did I put the fraction? 1 1 plus, sorry, 3 1. Yeah, Allah. It's the same as saying 3 1, which is our initial point, plus u, because this here we use the initial point of v. So what's left is to add u. Plus 4 7. You get 7 8. If you want an easy way to solve this, just look here. This plus this plus this, because it's u plus v plus initial. So you could just do 4 7 1 1 2 0. Add these all up, plus plus. You get 4 plus 1 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 1 plus 0 is 8. Okay, you're just adding them all up. Question 10. How long is this recording? Oof. Okay, what is the y component of a unit vector if it's 5i plus 12j? Remember, when you say I, that means that's your x, and we say j, that's your y. So how do you find the y component of the unit vector? Remember, the y of the unit vector, yani y of u prime, is always equal to the old y over the magnitude of that vector. In this case, we're talking about r, and I don't know why I put u. It should be y of r prime equals y over the magnitude of r. Remember the formulas I gave you for the unit vector? The new x is equal to the old x over the magnitude, and the new y is equal to the old y over the magnitude. Okay, the old y in this case is 12 over the magnitude of r. Can we find it? Yes, we can. You do radical 5 squared plus 12 squared, you get 13. Okay, why am I doing 5 squared plus 12 squared? Because to find the magnitude, it's always x squared plus y squared, which is 5 plus 12 squared. Okay, so it will be 12 over 13. That's your y component. Okay, هلا for the written. You have this is all in the book, okay? What are you required to know? I'm gonna show you. What's this angle? Yeah, okay. Uh, Similar to physics, I don't know. We never did this in class, so I don't think it's required in the material. But if you're ever asked to find the angle alpha of any vector, it's equal to shift tan of the y over x. Okay, please know this formula. It wasn't asked in the quiz, but يعني if it might come. I usually don't know. This region likes to get a lot of questions like this. Okay, ف in this case minus 2 3, right? How would you find the angle it makes? You do shift tan 3 over minus 2, and you get minus 56 degrees. Okay, uh, but since we're using tan, you have to do 180 minus that angle. Okay, it's always, if you remember from geometry, when we had shift tan, shift sine, shift cosine, you always do 180 minus that angle. And I think yani it's also over here. They asked one of them here. Find the angle. Yeah. Uh, sorry, it's not 180 minus. Sorry. It's not 180 minus. It's 180 plus the angle. But in this case, we got the angle is equal to minus 56. For 180 plus minus 56 is equal to 124. I'm solving for this, huh? Okay, you get this, you always get it as xy, right? But if you want the angle, it's always tan of the angle is y over x, and obviously you do shift tan. Okay, uh, you always do 180 plus the angle. If I like look here in this one, you got it's they gave you it's minus 2i minus 2j. What does that mean? Your x is minus 2, your y is minus 2. If you do shift tan of minus 2 over minus 2, you get 45. And we always do 180 plus the angle, so you get 225 as the angle. In case it comes, I don't think it will come, but you really don't know what this region does. Okay, what I'm gonna solve with you, I'm gonna do 5, 6, and 7. Okay, consider the am I done? No. Yeah, I'm done. 5. Consider the vectors v. It's 3, 1. Let me scroll down. It's 3, 1, and minus 5, 3. Draw v with its initial point at the origin and u with its initial point at the terminal point of v. Give the coordinates of the initial points and terminal points of v. Okay, أول شيء we want to draw v with its initial point at the origin. For the origin means 0, 0. So start here at the origin. It's 3, 1. What does that mean? The x is 3 and the y is 1. So you go 3 to the right and 1 up. So 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. 1 up, there you go. So this is how you write vector v. You draw it and you put v under it, if it comes written. Then from vector v, they're saying draw u with its initial point at the terminal point of v. So at the end point of v, make that the initial point of u. What's u? U we said is over here given minus 5, 3. So what does that mean? 5 to the left and 3 up. Why to the left? Because it's negative, huh? For now, go 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So it's like this. Then you connect them, you get u. Part B, w equals v plus u, right? Draw w with its initial point at the origin. What are the coordinates of the terminal point of w? Okay. Whenever you're adding two vectors, that means you just connect the initial point of the first one to the terminal point of the other one. Okay? For w here, we got these two vectors. We got this and we got this. How would you find w if it's v plus u? You just connect it. That's it. This is w. That's pretty much it. What are the coordinates of the terminal point of w? It's gonna be over here, which is minus 2, 4. It's very easy صراحة. بس I'm solving them just so you have an idea of what could come on the written part. Okay, consider the vectors v, 4, 2, and u equals 0, 1. Find the components of p equals v minus u. So p is v minus u, right? So it's going to be v minus u. 4 minus 0, which is 4. 2 minus 1, 1. So this is p. Can you draw it? Yes, you can. So 4 to the right, 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1 up. This is your vector p, which is equal to v minus u. And the terminal point, what's it going to be? 4, comma 1. Okay. Another way up here, with the adding v plus u, you could have just done 3 plus minus 5, which is minus 2, and 1 plus 3 is 4. And then they said draw it with its initial point at the origin. So you go 2 to the left and 4 up. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get the same answer, w. Okay? Please make sure to draw arrows. Please, 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 please. You lose marks. And it's hebal, yani, if you lose marks for it. Consider the vector v is 2 minus 1. Find the components of r equals minus 2v. Minus 2v. What does that mean? You distribute the minus 2. For minus 2 times 2 equals minus 4. And minus 2 times minus 1 equals 2. Okay, so you get minus 4, 2 as your vector r. They want you to draw r with this initial point at 2 comma 0. So they want you to draw r over here at 2 comma 0. Okay, Uh, can you draw it? Yes, we can. Minus 4, 2 means 4 to the left and 2 up. Okay, so 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 up, 1, 2. There you go. Here is R. Okay, yeah, that's it. They didn't ask you to draw V. I don't know why they drew V. But see, in case they ask you to draw V, they have to ask you with, they have to ask you to draw it from where. Uh, okay, that's it خلاص يعني for this 5.2. I hope you all do good, really. I don't want anybody's average to go down for math. Inshallah khair. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck.